Guys, welcome back. Finally decided to make a video about drama developments. It's always one of those interesting videos to reflect on and discuss certain interesting things about Pegasus launch. I may mispronounce Pegasus. I think it's Pegasus, not Pegasus. But I watched some of the videos that he put out within last, I would say, 7 months about different content creators. And points he was making about specific reselling business models that are not associated with reselling. And the point always was that he's kind of leaning, in my opinion, towards either trying to prove his point for himself, which anyone can try to do, right? And I would bring up some examples, of course, that I watched in terms of some videos that he did. I didn't fully watch the one he did on Tech and Sports. I watched the ones that he did on Carry at Home. Watched the ones that he did on my friends John and Jenna Flipping in Easy. James Helferstray a little bit. And some other ones. I think Rockstar Flipper, someone else. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's gonna be making them anyway, so there is no point to kind of, mention everyone. So I'm not gonna make it hopefully a very long video, but I would say that his points about, say, for example, Carry at Home, where he shows examples of her doing calculations about inventory and profits and cost of goods and total items listed. Then, of course, the formula, that whatever. What I want to say is we can discuss this like for weeks, years, months. The point here is Pegasus launch. I forgot his name. Sorry, forgot your name. I'm not a big content creator, if you're ever gonna watch my video. But I read the comments actually from a couple of your videos about the point you were trying to bring and prove, and deliberate like discussion of it in the comments. I always say this actually what brings you views anyway. So you're making money somewhat. I saw the comment that he did. My friend John Rodrelix, right, John? In a video from Flipping in Easy that he did for Flipping in Easy. And John had a point, of course. John Rodrelix is not a stupid guy. He knows what's up. He just commented AdSense that in this space, not this space, any space, outer space, content creators trying to make money if they're doing things right. For the viewers, AdSense, Google AdSense. Which proves my point on you, Pegasus launch. that you're also doing those videos to bring in the views for the commenters, to comment on them, counter comment. As I mentioned it so many times, like I said, I'm not a big content creator. I'm not, one of the people who anyone watches. In fact, everything I do on YouTube is wrong. And I have talked about it. But the point here is that for all the videos that you made specifically kind of proving points that are not really, in my opinion, necessary, I always say this country is blessed with great, kind people. It kind of somewhat brings out like those comments. Some will be brutal, some may be kind, some may be neutral in terms of who they want to defend. But in the end of the day, as you are other content creators that you made videos about, content creators who don't put any videos regularly, content creators that don't do YouTube content correctly like me, and some another etc, etc. They will be still making content. They will be still all the points you brought in about, say, for example, carry it home. Okay, so there are people who will be agreeing with you, some people will be disagreeing with you, some people will be neutral. It's the same exact freaking thing as with any content creator, putting out content regularly, having a bunch of different channels, having people view their channel, fans who support them, whatever. It's not really the point. The point is that she, for example, as you said in her video about her, selling this formula or membership for people to use the formulas that she created for the listings per day, selling items per day, sourcing, investing. It's a simple mess. Your commenters there and your comment for that video are also here and there, discussing different things, which helps you as a content creators to make some money. As you said, it's chump change, as you said, for Rod Relics John, that you replied to his comment that I don't remember how much, how many dollars we're talking about here. You're making money anyway, and this country is blessed to have opinions. Bringing an opinion on people. Someone will defend themselves, someone doesn't need to. And I think, unless it's derogatory, for me personally, and I've talked about it, if there's some derogatory comments about some kind of crap, that's not associated with anything. When it comes to the business which we're in, reselling or anything, in this case reselling related, you can point out your disagreements, right? You have the right to do that. Nobody tells you can't. If you have the proper critique or points, you think in your videos that I have watched, not all of them, like I said, you're bringing in those critiques properly to criticize someone. But as with any business, as we know and learn throughout the years, everything can change within an hour. Anything can change within an hour. I will not go too deep into my situation, for example, if you're ever gonna watch this video. Each specific business person or entrepreneur is unique in how they approach their own business models. From my experience, personally, I didn't need any freaking courses. I didn't need any, um, you know, things that I have to pay for to contribute to my business. I just didn't because I have knowledge from my own good to know what the heck I'm doing, right? But there are millions of people that can either agree with what you were saying or disagree. People who will be still not even, they will disregard what the heck what you're saying and buy memberships or courses or Patreons or anything associated with their favorite content creator, for example, as an example, to support them if they can. As I said many times before, I'll be like on this groundhog repeated vinyl record that spins and skips on the same tune. That's like unbelievable because see, I can understand that she came to this country with from immigrant parents also, like me, and everyone in this country is an immigrant. I said that also many times. Everyone came in different eras, years, whatever. And I know, as you know, how hard it was for the parents, grandparents, I don't know which generation you are, to work in this country to make money. At the times where it was impossible to create content or have social media following or having all those abilities nowadays. So you pretty much in case of carry at home situation when she is selling certain things on her channel or promoting certain things or can be anything, endorsing. That's her business. We can critique that. We can critique anyone else or everyone who does it. And that's a right she has in this country and her family that they can build their business the way they want to do it. She didn't do anything wrong with it. That's her thinking. Many people will agree, many people will disagree. Same thing as any topic, not just reselling. Can be any type of topic out there. If there's gonna be something for the consumer or the fan that enjoys, in her case, her channel, they'll try to support her channel by trying to buy some kind of either inventory from eBay if they know her eBay store, or support her through either membership if she has provided. I didn't look into it, but that's how it is. Same thing with everyone else you mentioned. Tech and sports, same thing. Patreons, courses, anything that he provided for people to try to, not, I would say, I'm not a teacher. There are a bunch of people who are not teachers, but have experience with something that they can provide for someone else. If that person has at least some kind of purpose from it, and they have money to spend on purchasing it, it's their God-given right to do that. They can have spare amount or extra money to pay for certain membership or to buy from that person their merch or whatever they provide on their channel specifically. It comes to their mind also, yes, some people, some content creators make money from YouTube. If there are things in place, there are certain things in place where you can do with your channel to try to bring attention, right? You've done so far with this situation, with those types of videos, you brought attention to yourself. So there are not just content creators watching, but also people who in the comments fighting over certain things. Flipping and Easy are my good friends. Great people. John and Jen are great people, hardworking. Both worked full-time jobs in the past. Both complemented their income also, if you watched their lives long enough, and I think you possibly did, because your critiques are kind of all over the place. Yes, they have the right, like a carry at home, to provide memberships for their viewers, for their audience, to become members if they want to, if they have money for their memberships. Also, their merch, their endorsements, and stuff like that. They have the God given right to, like everyone else. I have the right. You have the right. You can, argue that information they provide specifically is for that specific person who watches, that one person out of possibly 100,000 who watch the channel. Is that an information that is useful for that person? Who knows? You're not gonna create every video on your channel to specifically for people who are commenting on your videos about situations they have with their business, how they do their business, if they're doing this business on their own, if they have a family, if they have money, what type of bills they have, what type of situations they're in, where they live, what state, what city, what county. It's like infinity of possibilities that you can critique on things for each individual person who are either part of the community or no longer part of the community, or people who were part of the community from a long time ago or recently, or new resellers, old resellers, part-time resellers, quarter resellers. But you specifically don't know that each person's situation is unique. They can watch certain content creators. They will be kind of, I understand your point there, like, oh, how is that possible? You list 5 items a day, you sell 2 items, then you invest more money to buy 2 more items, right? You can digest this situation so much because with understanding that you may not have or you have, it's like unlimited amount of possibilities that exist for each individual entrepreneur in this space of reselling. Opportunities that one person can have living somewhere compared to the other person living somewhere else. Sourcing prices, contacts, connections, places that are available within distance to source, that you don't have to spend too much gas to drive, or possibility of connections. People who are disabled, that have been many, many, many thousands who are on disability and doing this, that have no way of sourcing whatsoever, but grinding like every other entrepreneur, reseller to try to make a living. You don't count how many bills they have, what type of bills they have, how many of them are doing this, if they have family support, if they have just one person doing this, one person not working at all, supporting the entire family. There are endless list of possibilities. People who wanna pay for memberships to each channel to support their favorite content creator, to the people who wanna buy and overpay for certain items from their favorite personality, social media personality, content creator, to pay more to just buy a piece of them in a way, right? There are many people like that in this country. You can critique sports, you can critique actors, Hollywood entertainment people, you can critique government, you can critique so many things, celebrities, pets, anything out there, that there are people, you have to understand that I can be different from everyone else. You can be different from everyone else. We make different amounts of money, not just per day, but per year. What I cannot afford, you may afford, because you have different situation. For the people to buy certain memberships or courses, or if they're willing to pay one-time fee, monthly fee, yearly fee on something that they want to buy to help them with something, to improve to improve upon something, and possibly think it's may improve their business. Is it like mandatory? No, but you just touch up on things. I know I didn't watch all the videos. I will. I'll make more of those videos after I do. But if John, for example, said something 2 years ago about certain thing, like you mentioned, that particular business model can change within like a week time frame, or a day time frame. You cannot, like, I can say something which I believe in will happen tomorrow, but at the same time it may never happen, and in fact it can be bad or worse, and I would say something stupid and say, I didn't think about this, so it changed. As with any business, stock markets falls. You know what I'm talking about Bitcoin, stock market, people, buying stocks as they did forever. One stock crashes, one company, all of a sudden the stock goes down. People invested so much money into it, but they don't know. They're not like, some of them may have a feeling like when you playing cards or poker, you have a feeling of like your, opposition, because maybe you've been doing it so many years, you're already kind of glancing at people's eyes and like, oh, that guy has something tricky up his sleeve, right? And in reality, kind of try to read people's minds in a way. But each person individually can do whatever the hell they want. I'm not defending, specifically anyone, as you may point out eventually, my friends. There is no friend, okay? I've said about it many times. It's just a point, yes, is that you can be friends, of course, on business, yes. I brought this example like a vinyl record spinning again, that there are so many different situations with business partners, even your family, that don't work out. For each individual person who does their business, if that business fails, in my opinion, that person has head on their shoulders and enough brain to think for themselves and their family to attempt some other venture. Do you think they're gonna keep trying to accomplish something that for some reason may have failed? It may not be their, fault in that specifically. It depends on the situation. I read a bunch of comments from the videos that you made, from the videos, people are claiming, yes, that's stupid, that's stupid math that Gary did, or, John, you brought out that he talked about sell-through rate, low sell-through rate, high sell-through rate, high STR, low STR. It works in the models for specific individual, once again, for specific situations, each unique situations, like anything is unique. Serial number on all the products that you purchase is unique. One serial number will not be the same. It can happen, but not like all the time. As with anything, each person is unique on how they approach everything in life. So, if something is brought out to critique someone else about something they may have said 2 years ago, 5 years ago, bring up to the point to contradict themselves with that, it's not realistically true statement of trying to criticize someone upon what they said in that situation, because everything changes so fast that you realistically can't control sometimes. It's business with numbers, I understand. Yes, yes. You source specific things, one-off items. That's not a business. How far will it go, right? But believe me, my friend, there are many, many thousands of resellers who don't have opportunity or connections or following to create this for themselves. They have to grind, like me. You think I rest? Sometimes I do, but barely. I work my ass off. I work so hard that I sometimes fall asleep without even making myself dinner or lunch because I don't have energy anymore. You think you know people, you think you want to critique hardworking people all the time and not knowing their situation. Do you think that's fair? What do you think? You know, you don't spend, you don't sit there whilst each individual entrepreneur, reseller, business person does their business from the beginning to the end of the day. You don't watch them, sitting there with them and watching what they're doing and how hard it is. I can bring my examples to you all day long, my friend. All day long. That I spent numerous hours sourcing on my feet, walking non-stop until I cannot fucking walk. And I have to come home with great pain and soreness, and I have to ice up all my body parts pretty much. And then you will critique and say, is it needed in your video? Is it needed to, you know, do it this way? Yes, because I don't have any other incomes. You know, there are some things I do on the side, but they are not my full-time money that I make from reselling. Grinding every day, working hard, doing it on by myself. And you know, all the anxiousness, all the stress, all the stuff that comes with it. Sometimes those people who criticize, they don't understand. They're not with you sitting. They may smile, they may say, oh, you know, you're doing such a great job. They're not there to see what you're doing every day, how much time you spend on trying to make yourself money. Right now, this is a stupid thing I'm doing to making this video for so long. Instead, should be listing, cleaning, researching, taking photos, doing all other stuff reselling related because it brings me money. And I'm making here a video about this situation. You know, because do I need to do it? No, of course not. I'm not making any fucking money on YouTube. Sometimes on the lives, when I did the lives, I did. Barely, sometimes they would pay me out every month or every 2 months until I get to $100. And it's a great blessing of people who came to the lives and sent us super chats. Also very hardworking people. They did it. And they doing it for a lot of channels. Do they have to do it? No. Does it have to do same models you were mentioning? John Flipping and Easy, Carry It Home, Tekken Sports, who else you mentioned? Hustle Home Mom. People may want to do memberships. People may not want to do membership. People can sell their merch. People can endorse, can sponsor. Then you ask me, for example, in your comment if you ever watch the video. Why don't you complement your reselling income and try some stuff like bigger channels? Why don't you take up on a sponsor? Why don't you endorse some products? Why don't you sell the courses? I don't do that. I don't need to. It's my choice. I don't need to do that. You know, I'm not even on any of my videos ask people, before I did in the past, to subscribe. I never ask. It's person's God willing right if they want to do it or not. I'm not gonna tell constantly say subscribe, 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 hit the like. So I don't. Out of jokes sometime I will say it. But that's my personality, that's me. There are thousands unique personalities, millions, in the not just reselling space, on the YouTube world. If they want to sell some kind of product, if they think it's right, in their own mind, that's fine, that's their right. It's free country, they can do. Sell whatever they want. In a legal aspect, of course, with legalities. If they don't want to, they don't. They just take it off and that's it. And then if they decide to do something else, they can do something else. Sorry that I'm stressed, but that's fine. I don't. You ask why? Like you're watching me, like I'm like bubbling about something. I don't rest much. Why do I make? Next question you're gonna ask: how much money do I make a year on eBay, on Poshmark, on from reselling? Not much. I don't show my numbers, but it's not. Doesn't matter. I don't want to. But I'm not making much. So, just to finalize it, and I'll be making maybe possibly another video about this, is that each individual and business entrepreneur having their lives, their channels, their couple channels, 3 channels, 5 channels, whatever they want to provide for their audience. Because there are going to be people, that's a gracious country. Look at the freaking goodwill, right? Look at how many people donate stuff every freaking day to Goodwill. Do they need to do it? No. But they're still doing it. Same exact thing with content creators. Do they need to buy the memberships? No. But they are doing it out of graciousness of their own heart. Do they need to subscribe to that channel? No. But they do it also out of the graciousness, you know, out of possible love, possible entertainment, possible knowledge, you know, to help that content creator or to support them. False information is all over the place, man, not just YouTube. False information is in government, false information is in schools, false information is from your friends, false information is from healthcare providers, doctors, teachers, people you meet at the regular retail stores, auctions, like billboards that you drive on the freeways, information out of other types of businesses that help you with car repair, computer repair, any type of service business. There's so much false information out there. You cannot calculate in any numbers. But people have the right to make their money. And it is each person individual choice to buy information, to share information, and to provide their own knowledge if they want to. They don't have to. Anyway, thank you once again. If someone don't understand what I'm saying, let me know in the comments. Hit the like button, I guess. I'll be making more videos possibly like that. And sorry if I offended anyone. This world will never have its place without being offended by someone or anyone. See, that's kind of a line to finish. And have a great day. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.